your personal perspective produces a point of attraction that is carved out of what you live, so that when you see something that you don't want, something that you do want comes into the forefront in a stronger vibrational way, and you emanate a vibration about that, even if you don't know that you are doing it. If you are in touch with your emotions, you are more aware that you are doing it. But desire is evolving. Your desires are continually being amended. Some new ones are being born. It's a constant, steady process. And the thing that we want to ask you, we really want you to ask yourself, it's the thing that you most want to be aware of all other things, or maybe all other things put together, is, what am I? We're speaking from your point of view. What am I doing? Where do I stand in terms of my mood or attitude or practiced thought? What kinds of things do I say and believe in relationship to the new that is born all day, every day? Because you can't stand still. You cannot stop evolving and expanding, because that's what we are all about. You are eternal beings, which means motion forward is a steady part of your experience. But as humans, so often you want to hold yourself to old beliefs because you think they are more comfortable, but they are not. Old beliefs are not more comfortable because the new you is tugging against them all the time. You expand, and you've got to go with your expansion or you don't feel good, and that's what your emotions are telling you all day, every day. If you feel elation or eagerness, if you're feeling appreciation or happiness or even interest in something, that means you are in the moment with your focus and your attitude and your mood, your vibrational stance right here and now. You're not hindering the expanding you at all. In fact, you're going with the flow of it and you feel great. But if you're ornery about something, if you're angry about something, if you're defensive about something, if you are feeling guilty or lonely, if you're feeling any of those emotions, even light ones like frustration, that negative emotion is your indicator that a larger part of you is flowing where you are not going. You have become something because of what life has caused you to focus, but you're not letting yourself be it here and now. You're focused in opposition to who you really are. So that's really what we're all about here. We've been calling this gathering the art of allowing. And it means the art of allowing you to be who you really are. But in order for you to allow yourself to be who you really are, you got to understand that you're more than this physical body that you recognize, or this personality that you know or others know as you. You are source energy. And you were source energy before you came into this body. And this is the thing that most people don't quite get. The largest part of you, that eternal part of you, still is non-physically focused source energy. A part of that energy is focused here with you. But the larger part of you, that expanding part of you, is non-physical consciousness. It's hard to hear that because you know yourself as a physical being. You've got the see it, hear it, smell it, taste it, touch it thing going on. You've got all of this reality around you that you know is real reality. And we say, yes, it is. It's manifested vibration. It is the furthest most vibration that is. But there is a larger part of you that is interested in everything that you're about here and now. And your emotions are your indicator of how well integrated, how much alignment, how much harmony, how much allowance of all that you are, you're allowing here and now. Esther watches basketball players, football players, all kinds of magnificent physical accomplishment, and she sees how often the whole of them is there. The part of them that understands aerodynamics, the part of them that has allowed the perfect integration into a physical body, the part of them that is able to calculate in a split second time and space and distance and speed and know what to do in order to accomplish what is on their mind to do. And sometimes she knows they're out of sync, and she knows that ball's not going to go in that hoop anytime soon. Not that guy, not today, not the way he's feeling, not what's going on. But often, especially emphasized in that arena, there is an understanding of mind over matter. There's an understanding of vibration. There's an understanding of alignment and connection. There's an understanding of being the best that you are. And there's an understanding of pinching the best of yourself off with some mood or opinion or attitude, mostly meanness at yourself, not appreciation of yourself, that can hold you in a vibration that keeps you apart. That's too strong a word. Pinches you off. That's too strong too. Disconnects you. That will never really happen. But in any moment, you have the options of allowing or disallowing, of alignment or resistance, of being tuned in or not being tuned in. We want to remind you how it all fits together. But most of all, we want to, in very simple terms, help you find your way back to your consistent, joyful beingness. Because that's what you came for, and that's the way it is supposed to be. That's who you are. So we are eager to talk with you about anything that you want to talk about. There is nothing that is off limits. You will notice a wonderful unfolding. There is not, because of the framework of this time-space reality, going to be an opportunity for each of you to be here in the hot seat, having a direct dialogue. But what you will notice is the things that matter to you will be answered, because the things that matter to you are known by us. The question that we really want to put to you is, what is your vibrational stance? Are you going to hear what we're saying to you? Because we're going to be saying it to you. We've heard what you're asking about, and we know what the path of least resistance to the answers to your questions and the solutions to your problems is. We know the path of least resistance. That's what we want to tune you into, turn you on to. We want you to understand that you are guided and known and perceived from a broader point of view, who understands where you stand in relationship with everything you want. And there is a path of least or lesser resistance, and there is a path of more or greater resistance. And often, you don't mean to do it, but you take the path of greater resistance because somebody's convinced you that there is some sort of reward in suffering and struggle. As you listen to yourselves, often, even Esther sometimes will say, yeah, I stayed up all night to work on that. She's waiting for the gold star to be offered to her by someone. But the gold stars in her life stopped coming at about 3rd grade. No gold stars are coming. Most people in her life now just look at her as if to say, why don't you plan better, Esther? There is no virtue in struggle or sacrifice or hard life because it goes against the universal laws. So what it really comes down to is your life has caused you to send off these rockets of desire that have created a vibrational reality that really is the dominance of who you are. It's the part of you that carries on after you're no longer in this physical body. It is a real vibrational version of you that is a precursor to all of the wonderful things that you are becoming. So what we're wanting to help you to do is to sense, to feel, to find the vibe of that expanded you and to point yourself in the direction of it. You're not ever going to catch up with it because you keep expanding faster than you can find vibrational alignment with it. But when an idea is born and you follow the impulse or the inspiration, when you are one who realizes and then allows yourself to be the full realizer, meaning the one who focuses without resistance and allows the inspiration to flow to you, you'll find yourself in the right place at the right time. You'll find yourself meeting up with more of what you're wanting. You'll find yourself not only rendezvousing with the vibration of who you really are, which is life-giving and such a feeling of illumination and exhilaration and vitality, but you will also find yourself rendezvousing with others who are like you, who are also reaching and expanding and joyful in their life experience. So you will begin to feel, some of you are already well upon this understanding, you will begin to feel this path of knowing that is exposing itself to you at all times. The path of least resistance. In other words, the best idea for you right now to get from where you are to where you really want to be. And friends, you always want to be someplace a little more expanded than where you are. It's the nature of who we all are. Don't you know that? Can't you feel yourself constantly reaching? And when you convince yourself that there's no point in reaching because you're not doing a good job of it, that's when you really shut down. That's when you really pinch yourself off. That's when life really takes on that sort of darkness that is not true to the nature of who you are.